Okay, so we are in session 3 of the FSBO3 training, as other people will probably be joining us. After you make the initial call to find out from the seller if their house is still for sale, one of the first things you're going to do is try to get their email address. Have you made any calls so far?
I did. I actually did, and I haven't. I wasn't able to get any emails.
You what?
I was not able to get any emails.
Okay, so when you're talking to them, what exactly are you saying to them?
Just basically, I don't think I was in that last role play, that last session, so I wasn't really familiar with what transpired, but I definitely was going off of the videos, just asking if they have any seller's disclosures, and if they didn't, I can send it to them and provide a link. And yeah, so the majority of them were not interested in that.
Not interested in giving you a seller's disclosure?
Correct.
Okay.
Not interested unless I had a buyer.
Okay, so let's do some role play. Let's just pretend that you're the FSBO owner and I'm going to call you. Ready?
Okay.
Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hello, is this Valerie?
This is Valerie.
Hey, Valerie, Robert Russell. I'm a realtor. I don't know if you remember, I talked to you last week about your house for sale. I was talking to one of my buyers and we were planning on coming to see your house, and we've got about 10 lined up to see. But before we come, since there's no information about your house, do you happen to have a seller's disclosure you can send to me?
No, I don't.
Have you ever sold a house before?
No.
Okay. Do you know the purpose of a seller's disclosure, or do you know what a seller's disclosure is?
Not really.
Okay. A seller's disclosure tells all buyers what's in your house, what kind of wiring you have, how old the house is, when the roof was put on. It gives way more information legally than telling all this stuff verbally. And so it's a form that's filled out. It could be anywhere from 4 to 7 pages, but I need to get one of those before I can bring my buyer to see your house. What is your email address? And I will send you a copy for you to fill out.
Okay, so it's Valerie at ABC.
Okay, all right, I will email that to you. If you'll fill it out and send it back to me, just reply back from the email that I sent it to. And then once I get that back, I will set the time up with my buyers and we can go from there.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, bye-bye now.
Thanks, bye.
Now, see, that wasn't very tough, was it?
No.
Because it gave you a solid reason, the importance of a seller's disclosure. The last thing a seller wants to do is to get in any kind of legal trouble because they've never sold a house before. And that's why I asked the question, have you ever sold a house before? And you said no, which tells me you have zero experience doing this. Of course, I'm not going to say you're an idiot because you're a FSBO owner. But see, that's what we're trying to find out. Once I get that seller's disclosure from you, the whole reason to get the seller's disclosure is not because I really want to see it, because I really don't. The only reason I want the seller's disclosure is so that I can get your email address so that I can start you on an email campaign. Do you have any kind of program set up where you can create email campaigns?
I do, yeah.
Okay. Craig, good morning. Do you have an email campaign? Yo, Craig. Craig's going to listen to us. Michelle, good morning. Do you have an email campaign?
Hey, good morning. I do not have an email campaign.
Okay. Do y'all know how to set one up?
Through KB Core?
You can do it through whatever program you're using. What I would do is I would do a mixture of a email campaign and a text campaign together. So the very first text that you're going to send after you talk to somebody is going to be, thanks for talking to me about your house today. If you have any questions, give me a call. Very short and simple. You can do that after talking to them, or which I like to do, which is even better, I like to use the old cell phone and do a short video, which you can make very generic on a video that says, hey, thanks for talking to me about your house. If you have any questions, give me a call. And it's a very generic video, and you can send it out to every single person that you talk to. Nobody, your competition, is not sending out a text video after they call somebody on the phone. And what that does is it lets them see that you really are a person and you don't have two heads like they think you do. All of you have a smartphone, right?
Yes.
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 And you know how to make a video, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how
Yes.
difficult it would be to create a very short 1-minute video and send to every single for sale by owner that you talk to after the first contact?
Yeah, it'd be pretty easy.
Very simple to do. Then your next email after you send out that first one is going to be, I forgot to ask you when we were talking on the phone the other day, if I brought you a buyer, would you pay my commission? Now, let me tell you the purpose of doing it this way. When they reply back with their seller's disclosure, the emails that you send back and forth to them are going to go in their inbox and not in their spam box because they replied to your email. So now you know that everything you send them from here on out is going to inbox unless they mark it as spam. So your first email after the initial thank you is going to be, if I brought your buyer, would you be willing to pay my commission? Probably most of them are going to reply back and say, what is your commission? And you're going to reply with 3% or whatever your commission is if you represent a buyer. Any questions on that?
How long between the two?
I would wait about 4 to 5 days.
Okay, great. And then I guess immediately for the next one, right?
Everything
The
is
first
4 to
one.
5 day span. You
Okay.
never call them back the next day after talking to them.
Okay.
You're always going to wait about a week, because if you call them too soon, you're going to appear too eager and you're going to lose the deal because you're salivating every time you see their email and they know it. But if you spread it out over a long period of time, what you're doing is that you're keeping that house on the market by not going after it. The downside is that somebody else can come in behind you and take that listing away, which I'm willing to take that chance. But my goal is to go after the for sale by owner that's not having any success at all. And then I have emails that say, I noticed that your house has been on the market now for 30 days. What do you think's wrong with this picture? Very short email. And you always want to end the email with a question. You never want to make statements. It's just like talking to them on the phone. You never want to make statements. Always ask them in a question because it puts you in control of the conversation. Does that make sense? Yes, no?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so questions, very important. Let me tell you how important questions are. Craig, are you listening? Craig is on mute still. All right, so we're going to play a little game. Y'all like games?
Yeah.
Yes, good, good.
Yeah.
I knew you'd say yes. Michelle, I want you to ask a question to Valerie. Valerie, your answer is going to be a question that relates to her question. So you can't make a statement. You have to answer her question with a question. Michelle, are you game? The first
I'm
person,
ready.
hold on. The first person that makes a statement and doesn't reply with a question loses the game.
Oh, shoot. We go back and forth with questions on questions.
it. And
Okay.
remember, you
turn
got
my
to
brain
keep it on. You keep your question on the same topic. You can't go on and ask something like, have you seen the weather today, when we're asking about real estate? I mean, it has to be, everything relates to the original question. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. I'm
Michelle,
ready.
you get to go first.
Okay.
Michelle,
All right.
you get to
I'm
go
ready.
first to Valerie.
Okay. Valerie. So
Yeah.
what is the price of your home?
What do you think the prices are going at in this area?
Oh. You know what? I really have to come in and see your home. Is today a good day?
If you're an expert in the market, why can't you tell me what the price is?
Okay, I really wish I could, but I do. Shoot, I do need to see it. Is today a good day? That's terrible, isn't it? Probably what I'd say though, anyway.
Today's not a good day, but isn't there something that you can send me that I can take a look at?
Well, I could send you some information that would be helpful, but if you really want me to be, but I'm sure you want me to be well harmed. I could say some I could
Michelle. Oh my God.
Is
You're
that terrible?
floundering over there. You're like a fish that's just been caught. He's going flopping all over the boat. All right, let me tell you the purpose of this game. The purpose of this game is that when you call a for sale by owner, you have to be paying attention to their question. Anytime you ask a question, you're in control of the conversation. If they ask you a question, you don't answer their question with a statement, you answer it with a question. Now that seems kind of evasive sometimes, but it takes the control away from this type A personality and puts the control back on you. So Michelle, let's do it with me and you. But we're going to do it in the form of a for sale by owner call. Okay, you ready?
I am ready.
Ring, ring.
Hello,
Hello, is this Michelle?
this is she.
Michelle, this is Robert Russell. I'm a realtor. I was calling about your house and I see that it's for sale by owner. Is it still available?
It is.
How much are you asking?
$199.
And how did you come up with that price?
It was on my Zestimate.
It's on your what?
My Zestimate.
Zestimate. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's a different way of doing things. Have you had it appraised?
No,
Have you thought about having it appraised?
no, I don't. There's no need to.
It's what?
There's no need to
Why is that?
because my Zestimate is correct.
Okay. All right, good. Last question. If I bring a buyer to you, would you be willing to pay my commissions?
How much is your commission?
3%.
3%. That's a little steep. I don't know. That might be a little steep. Maybe 2%.
I'm sorry, I'm not a discount broker. 3% is what I work for.
All right. When are you bringing your buyer by?
Well, that's what I need to find out about your house first before we can do that. I need to find out what if you'll pay my commission first, and then I can go from there.
What about 2.5%?
3%, Michelle.
All right, I'll do it.
All right, let me contact my buyer and I will get back in touch with you.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay, bye-bye now.
Bye.
Now, from that conversation to the next time I call, it's going to be about a week. I am not going to call next week. Hi, Robert.
Oh, nice.
I'm not going to call for another week. And after a week goes by, what's happened now is Michelle is probably thinking I'm a flake, that I was only interested in listing the house, even though I never mentioned that I wanted to list the house. And you will get that from a for sale by owner. So whenever they come up with that response to you, say, and they tell you, I'm not interested in listing my house, here's what I tell them. I never said I wanted to list your house. I haven't even seen your house. Your house could be a dog for all I know.
Yeah.
And you need to just be very blunt and tell them that. You've got to put them in their place. Even if it sounds rude, remember that a type A personality can only relate to another type A personality. So even though you think it's rude, that's really the personality that they best respond to. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, kind of.
So if you get that question, I'm not interested in listing my house, I simply tell them, I never said I wanted to. It could be a dog before all I know. Do you happen to have a seller's disclosure? Remember, you're going to have a list of questions. Everything is a question.
Okay.
Okay.
Most of them are going to say they don't have a seller disclosure. Or what is a seller disclosure?
Well,
Then
you've
what
sold
would
a
you
house before,
suggest?
haven't you?
What?
You've sold a house before, haven't you?
Oh yeah, like 7 times. Tons.
So you've done for sub owners 7 times,
Oh, my whole life.
and you don't know what a seller's disclosure is,
No.
and nobody's ever asked you for
Nope, I've
one.
never had to ever use one.
Nobody's ever asked you for one.
Nope. I've done all my deals myself, made tons more money, and never had to use a seller disclosure.
How many times have you been sued?
Never.
Interesting. Wow. I hope number 8's not the one. Do you know what a seller's disclosure is?
No, I have no clue.
Okay, go back and listen to the video because I just explained this to Valerie. So you're going to
Oh,
explain.
are you joking? No, I know what a seller disclosure is.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I was just kidding.
I hope so, right?
Okay, so from here, what's happened is all this process is going to take about 3 to 4 weeks before you're even at this point right here. I mean, I know this is a long time to be talking to these people, but remember that this is like I said in the very first webinar that I did, this is a dating process. You've got to date them before they trust you. So it's going to be next call. I'm going to call Michelle. Michelle, ring, ring.
Hello?
Michelle, Robert Russell. We
Hey,
talked last week.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I forgot to ask you when we were talking last week, is your living room big enough for a big screen TV?
Of course, I have one.
Okay, how big is it?
75 inches.
Perfect. Okay, let me get with my buyer and I will get back with you.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, bye-bye. Okay, so Michelle, with that question, what are you thinking right now?
That was strange.
As a for sale owner, what are you thinking?
That was all you wanted to ask me? That was strange, I guess, right? I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, day 2 goes by and I haven't called you.
Mm-hmm.
The last thing we talked about was your stupid big screen TV. And have you thought anything about it day 2?
Probably.
Day 3,
Forgot about it.
day 4,
Forgot about it.
day 5.
Definitely forgot about it.
No offers have come in.
Oh, then I'm probably thinking about you.
Day 6,
Yeah, definitely wondering.
day
What happened to
7.
buyer?
Day 7, you get a phone call.
Yeah.
Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, Michelle, Robert Russell.
Hey, Robert. How's it going?
Hey, I was talking to my buyers and they have added another criteria onto their search. So here's my question, because I looked this up and I couldn't find the answer. Do you have a swimming pool?
No swimming pool.
Perfect. All right, let me give my buyers and I will call you back.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Now, if she would have said yes, you know what I would have said? Perfect. Let me give my buyers and I'll call you back. I don't care what her answer is. My answer is perfect. Because I didn't set it up saying that they're looking for a pool, and I didn't say that they're not looking for a pool. I said they've added another criteria onto their search. So, Michelle, now that we've hung up and we've decided that you don't have a pool, what are you thinking now?
I guess. Okay, perfect. They don't want a pool.
Right? Okay. But I hung up.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're not trying to sell me.
I'm not trying to what?
You're not trying to sell me and get my listing.
Exactly. So what do you think is going on with my buyer?
He's interested, maybe. Yeah, he's interested.
Day 2,
I'm thinking about you.
day 3, still silence.
Yeah, some might be thinking about you.
Day 4,
Probably maybe forgot. Have no offers in.
day 5,
Yep.
day 6. It's time for me to call you. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, Michelle, Robert Russell.
Hey, Robert. How's it going?
Hey, I just wanted to tell you I got bad news.
What's that?
The buyers that I was going to bring to your house decided they didn't want to come see your house.
Okay.
The reason why is because they don't trust you.
Okay, why don't they trust me?
Number 1 is that your price has been the same since you put it on the market. Number 2, you have it listed with a realtor, which tells them that you're not willing to negotiate on the price because you don't want to pay commissions. And the third one, which is the most important reason, is that they're afraid you're not disclosing something. They think you're hiding something.
Why would they think I'm hiding anything?
I don't know. That's just what they told me. Are you hiding anything?
No, I'm not.
Do you think it's possible that other buyers are thinking the same way since you haven't had any offers yet?
No, I haven't thought about that.
What do you think about that?
I'm not sure. It's Christmas time. The market's slowed down.
If you were sure, what would you think about that?
What do I think about my price, or what do I think that?
What buyers are thinking?
Oh, I'm not sure. They're probably with their family.
You what?
I'm busy. They're probably with their family and busy. It's the holidays.
No, we're not talking about the holidays. I said, if you were sure about what they're thinking about you and what's going on, how do you feel about that?
If I was sure what they're thinking.
Yeah, you said you weren't sure. And I said, if you were sure, what would you think?
I'm sorry, I don't understand the question.
Okay, it doesn't matter. All right, well, next buyer I get, I will call you and see what's going on.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks.
Okay, bye-bye now.
Bye.
Can I intervene? Sorry.
Yeah.
I have a question. Okay, so the initial call, we requested we sent over seller's disclosures, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so and then this conversation you just had with Michelle, you said are you hiding anything? And what if she came back and said, why would I hide anything? Everything was disclosed to you on the seller's disclosures. What's our rebuttal? How do we go around
Because
that?
that's what my buyers told me.
Okay.
I can't read their mind. See, here's the thing that you gotta to stress without coming across as being too rude to for sale by owners, is that there are buyers that out there that do not want to go through for sale by owner because they really don't trust them with the whole process. I mean, that's just the general, and plus they don't want to do the haggling with that for sale by owner. There's a lot of buyers that I've worked with that don't want to negotiate at all. They want me to handle it. And that's why they've used the realtors, because they want me to do all the negotiations for them. So you've got a lot of the buyers who are not type A that don't want to do that. They don't want to do negotiations. I mean, that it's just like, it's like going to a car dealership and having to buy a car with a used car salesman. I mean, imagine that process. Do you like buying cars,
Yeah.
Valerie?
Sure.
You like buying cars?
Is that a trick question? I mean, I don't know. Yes.
Do you like dealing with a car salesman?
No, I don't. Okay.
That's how buyers feel about for sale by owners.
Okay.
All right, so let's move that now, the conversation over to you, Valerie.
Mm.
And I've told you the same thing I told Michelle. The last conversation we had was about people don't trust you. 6 days have gone by. I'm calling you again.
Okay.
Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hello, Valerie. Robert Russell again.
Hi, Robert.
Hey, got a question for you. When you came up with the price, how did you determine the price?
Just based off the homes that sold in my neighborhood.
And who provided those comps to you?
Just the research I've done on Zillow.
So you did the research?
Yes.
Okay. So are you basing it on appraisal or only what you found on Zillow?
Only what I found on Zillow.
Okay. Are you a licensed appraiser?
No, I'm not.
Do you think your house is overpriced or underpriced?
I think it's overpriced.
How's that working for you?
Not too good.
What could you do to change that?
I don't know, possibly reduce it.
Do you think that would help?
Possibly.
Where are you advertising it at?
Facebook, Zillow, friends and family, just pretty much every social media site that I can get my hands on.
Okay. And who's showing the house for you while you're at work?
Well, I have myself, my husband.
That's it?
Pretty much.
Would you say that your plan is working well for you right now?
Not necessarily.
So what could you do to change that?
Possibly find a realtor that can assist me and relieve some of the stress on our plate.
Do you know any realtors?
No,
None at all?
I am maybe one.
Who?
The neighbor that sold their home.
Wait a minute. Do you know what I do for my occupation?
No.
I'm a realtor. Remember, we've been talking for the last 7 weeks.
Oh, right, right.
I can help you sell your house.
Okay.
And here's the thing, is that when I help you sell your house, I'm going to handle all the showings for you. I'm going to handle all the paperwork. I'm going to do all the advertising. You pay me nothing up front. So that means all the showings that you have to take off work to go show the house, we're going to take care of that for you. All the advertising, we're going to put it in over 10,000 real estate websites, not just 4 that you mentioned. I've been doing this for 21 years. I've got listings all over the world. So do you want a realtor who's local to help you? Or do you want a realtor that has exposure all over the world to help you?
Exposure.
That's what I can do.
Okay.
So you said you would pay the 3% to the buyer's agent. My commission is 3% as the listing agent. I think with the price that you have it at right now, you've got enough room in there to maybe raise the price an additional 1% to give you some negotiation room. Would you be open to that?
Can you expand on that?
Yeah, right now you're at 300,000. Your house is priced well enough, I believe, that you could still come in and maybe go 305, 310 for negotiation. Somebody comes in at 305, we counter at 307. And then it's up to you to decide if you want to take that offer or not. I can't make that decision for you, but I can negotiate for you. All I got to do is send the paperwork to you. It's a listing agreement. It's all through DocuSign. You sign it online. You fill out the seller's disclosure, which I'll need an updated one. It takes you about 7 minutes. And then you sign it online and it comes back to me and we're good to go.
Sounds good.
Okay, I will email you the paperwork. If you have any questions when you get it, let me know. Don't sign anything unless you fully understand what you're signing.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Okay, bye-bye now.
Thanks. Bye.
And that's how I take listings.
So you said before you never go in to see these listings, right?
Nope. There's enough places where I can see that house without physically going there. Most for sale by owners are doing a pretty good job putting pictures on Zillow. Whenever I'm looking at houses, personally, I like Zillow better than Realtor.com because Zillow gives more information than Realtor.com does. It'll give you the description of the house. It'll tell you when they bought it. I can go to the tax records to see what they owe in the house. There's so much information that I can pull off that house to give me what information I need. Now, let's say that since I live in Florida and this listing is in Texas, I'm going to call a realtor in Texas who's in that city and get them to put up one of their signs in front of my listing. If it happens to be in a city that I don't have MLS access, that's the main MLS access, I'm going to get the realtor who's licensed in that city to put it in their MLS and put up their lockbox so that they get all the buyer calls. So now it's going to be in 2 MLSs. It's going to be in their MLS and it's going to be in my MLS. Does that make sense? Once an offer comes in, it's going to come to me. I'm going to negotiate the offer with the seller. Once we've done that, now I'm going to hand it over to a transaction coordinator. Transaction coordinator is going to take care of all the paperwork. I'm going to do nothing when it comes to paperwork on that agreement. And then I'll be copied on everything that goes on, and I'll find out through the massive emails that we're getting when the closing is. And then I send them my CDA, send them my bank information, and then they wire a check into my account while I'm over here in Florida, and it closes in Texas.
But you're not licensed in Texas, are you?
Yes, I am.
Okay, you're saying state you're licensed in. Okay.
I'm licensed in Texas. I live in Florida.
Okay, gotcha.
So let's say, for example, that you wanted to build a team. Valerie, you want to build a team in the whole state of Utah. Michelle, you're where? South Carolina? Michelle, where are you located?
I'm in North Carolina.
North Carolina. Okay. The first thing you need to do, if you're going to build a team, is you got to have a transaction coordinator. That's a must. Do both
Yeah,
of
that
y'all
one.
do what
I
now?
do. I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Cool. Valerie, what about you?
I've just been doing my own transactions, so I don't have
They're
mean,
pain.
well, yeah, but yeah, so.
It'll stop you from making more deals.
He's right. Here's the deal. A transaction coordinator, some of the good ones, that's all they do. Full-time, every day, day after day after day after day. So let's say that you're doing the transactions and somebody calls you and says, hey, I'm going to go see a house. Well, you're on day 6 of a 7-day option period. So now you're drop everything on day 6 of a contract that you're working on to go show houses. What are the possibilities that something's going to be screwed up on day 6 with the current contract where you're out showing houses? What you do is you get a transaction coordinator to take care of all that paperwork shit so that you don't have to deal with it. Now, the question is, who's going to pay for that? Well, your buyer or your seller. So what I do, the brokerage that I'm with charges $85 a month. So I add the $85 a month onto the $225 transaction fee that I pay the transaction coordinator. So I'm charging $350 or whatever that is, whatever that comes out to be. Actually, I charge $425 transaction fee. I charge it to the buyer and to the seller. If it's a listing, $425 transaction fee to the seller. If it's a buyer, $425 transaction fee to the buyer. They pay it. At closing, I put on the CDA that the transaction coordinator gets her $225. And then the $85 takes care of my monthly brokerage fee,
Mm-hmm.
and then I keep the rest.
Wow. Okay.
Where do you charge that?
Excuse me?
Where do you charge it? Like on your buyer's agency agreement?
Yeah. On the buyer rep agreement. But since I don't work with buyers anymore, that's where I would put it.
Or like under additional provisions for our listing has additional provisions.
Yeah, you can put it there. As long as they understand that they're paying for it, yeah. And if they balk at that, then I tell them, look, I'm going to negotiate that transaction fee back into the transaction anyway. So if, in other words, if we get an offer at $250, I'm going to counter back at $250, $225. So that they end up paying the transaction fee. Oh, okay, I'll do that. All right, so what I'm doing now is I'm trying to transition you from going after the for sale by owner market to think bigger about working the entire state. It's very simple how you can do this. So with the brokerage that I'm with, we get a profit sharing check based on how many people are signed up under you with the brokerage. So what I do is I will go out and look for a buyer's agent in each of the major cities in Texas. One in Dallas, one in San Antonio, one in Houston, all the major cities. Then I will go after a listing in that major city. Call my buyer's agent. Hey, I got a seller for you. Go put up your sign. Buyer's agent's a happy camper. Oh, cool. I get all the buyers. Buyer's agent puts up a sign in my listing. They put it in their MLS. I put it in my MLS in Dallas. They put it in San Antonio. They put up their sign. Beautiful for sign sale. And they get all the buyer calls. Buyer's agent gets the buyer's commission. I get the listing commission. Everybody's a happy camper. Why can't you do that all over your state? That's the way to build a team. Any questions?
Yeah, that's okay.
Michelle, do you have a team?
I do have a couple questions. One, so what if it doesn't have a lot of pictures? Because you do see a lot of for sale by owners that don't have a lot of pictures, or the pictures that you have are just limited. It's not enough. They're dark. Do you get professional photography? Do you get anybody going there? Because I know in North Carolina, we have to measure homes. Like the listing agent's responsible for that, or the
Yeah.
agents are.
You can do it one of two ways. You can either get a photographer out there to do it, or you can get your buyer's agent to do it if they have a good enough camera that can do it. Or even better, you can get the seller to pay for it.
And then what about, what's it called? Oh, like seller's disclosures, right?
Yeah.
So in North Carolina, we've got one of our seller's disclosures, and I'm dropping, listings coming back on the market today or right after Christmas. Between today and the 23rd, because they're going to terminate, and they want to sue my seller because they think he thinks that she, didn't disclose everything that she should have, which is total BS. But anyway, when they don't, because she was really hesitant about not hesitant where she didn't want to do it, but just wary or scared about what she was signing off on, because she didn't really know too much about the home.
This is your buyer you're talking about?
This is my seller.
The seller wants to do what?
She's just hesitant about signing or just filling out the disclosures,
Okay.
So what do you do with that? How do you help them with that? I know that you're not really supposed to help them.
You cannot help them fill out a seller's disclosure.
Well, I know you're not supposed to help them, but I'm saying if they have questions.
Then they need to call a real estate attorney, but you can't give them any advice on a seller's disclosure at all.
Mm-hmm.
If you do, you're opening yourself up for a major lawsuit. What I tell people is, here's a seller's disclosure. Read every question, answer every question. If you don't know the answer, don't guess. Just put unknown at this time. Very simple. But you can't interpret for them what that statement means. So if they say they don't understand, then tell them just to answer it the way they understand it, or answer it unknown at this time. You can deal with that issue later.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But there's no way, hell no, that I would ever explain to them a question on a seller's disclosure. Unless you got a lot of money and you want to get sued, go for it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I know. What other questions you got? Anything? Valerie, anything?
No.
Do they lose that connection with you since you're not meeting with them? You've never been in their house?
No. I've been on a listing appointment in 15 years. If this is the way I do business, they don't know any different. I just tell them, this is how I do business. We can talk anytime you want to talk. You want to do a Zoom meeting, just like we're doing here, we can do that. But this is how I do business. Any questions? Okay, I'm going to show y'all something. Let me go to this website first. I'm going to do a quick screen share because I want to get you set up on what we're going to talk about next week. Next week is our last week, by the way. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
This is my personal website.
Yes. Oh, it's nice.
If you go to, thank you, I made it myself.
Oh, it's very good.
If you go to property search and you click on my listings, these are listings that I have. Let's turn off the lights. I can see it better. Does that look better or does that look better?
The lights off.
Okay,
There you
good.
go.
Okay. When I'm talking to a for sale by owner, what I do when I'm talking to them is they question my ability to sell houses or to take listings without meeting them. I will take them to my website. I'll say, okay, I want you to look at this website and let's look at let's look at the most expensive one that I have, which is 2.9 million. Do you see that listing, Mr. Seller? Yeah, I see it. Now tell me, where is this house located? Valerie, where is this house located?
Wow. Outside of the United States for sure. La Romana?
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Valerie, do you think there's other realtors in this area?
Yes.
You do?
No.
So if there's other realtors in this area and I'm in Florida, why in the world would they use me to help them sell your house? Do you think it's because I suck as a realtor?
No, absolutely not.
So these are all the listings that I have. Let's go back. Now notice that that's not my only listing. These are my personal listings. Tulum, Brazil, Tulum again, Mexico, Barcelona, Spain. So here's my question. Do you want a realtor who lists only in Salt Lake City, Utah? Or do you want a realtor who has listings all over the world?
All over the world.
All over the world?
Right.
Why is that?
Because she's experienced and has credentials to prove it.
I'll tell you what, every time I show a for sale by owner my listings, it's about a 99.9% chance I'm going to get that listing. Because they understand that they're not dealing with an average realtor who farms just a neighborhood. They're dealing with somebody who does real estate worldwide. Because in my logo, I put helping buyers and sellers worldwide. And they see that. And when they go to my listings, they also see that. So this gives me credibility to have listings in different cities and countries. You need this, and you need to have the ability. First of all, it starts with a transaction coordinator. Then it starts with getting listings and then getting buyer's agents in the entire state, not just your area. So you got to think bigger, but you can't do it overnight. Number one.
How do you get, go ahead.
Step one is transaction coordinator. Step two is to start calling for sale by owners in the entire state. Then building a team from there so that you have 20, 25 listings just in your state. From there, then you branch out and you do stuff like this. You get listings all over the world.
How do you get listings in different countries?
That's a great question. And I'm going to answer that in next week's owner training.
Well, okay.
If you don't show up, you will never know the answer to that question.
I'll be here.
Groovy. Valerie, you coming?
Yes, check.
Next week is our last week. It's December
wow.
the 29th.
Mm-hmm.
It's only for an hour. you really don't want to miss next week. I'm telling you. This right here, what I'm going to go over with this international stuff, this has changed my whole way of doing real estate for the last 15 years. It's crazy
Nice.
what has come of this. I'll just give an example. 15 years ago, when I started doing this, I made a post on an international website, and I put on there that I now do international real estate. So this guy replies to me on LinkedIn and says, "Hey, you do international real estate?" I said, "Yes." He said, "I've got some land in the Dominican Republic. Can you help me?" I said, "Well, of course." He said, "Okay, I'll send you the information on it, and then you can tell me what we need to do." I got the email. I looked at it, and I thought I was going to pee on myself. It was for 63 million. Beachfront for 63 million. I had that listing for 3 years. And when I showed for sale by owners that I had a listing for 63 million, dude, I mean, their eyes like, oh my God, this is crazy. At that time, it was the largest listing in MLS in the Dallas market. I had the largest MLS listing. I don't think anybody's come close to that since then. So the reason I'm telling you this is because most realtors are farming a neighborhood, or they're farming their city, and that's it. They stay out of that city. I'm thinking we have this wonderful thing called the internet. Take advantage of it and go after worldwide real estate. The state has said you're licensed to sell in the entire state of Utah, or the entire state of North or South Carolina. They've done that for a reason. They didn't label you and say you can only sell in Salt Lake. No, they said Utah, the whole friggin' state. Now, what you've got to do is you got to figure out how to go after everything in that state. It starts with for sale by owners. From there, things will go crazy. Any last questions before we end this?
I'm just interested to find out how we can sell real estate internationally if we're not licensed. You just mentioned it. Yeah. That's for the 29th.
There's 6 countries that you can sell in without a real estate license.
I imagine there is, but
Wow.
I do not know, but I imagine there's got to be at least.
So here's your homework. I want you to find out what countries you can sell in without a real estate license. And then I want to hear the answers next week.
I'm like, where was that one that you said? Real estate license, real estate.
Find out what countries you can sell in without a real estate license.
Yeah. When I was thinking that one that he said he had, I can't
Oh.
remember, Dominican, what was it?
Don't put Dominican Republic on that list.
Brazil, Tulum, Mexico.
Okay, well, y'all have a good Christmas.
Yes, you
If y'all
guys
need my
do.
address to send my Christmas package, that would be great. I'll send it to you. I will send you this video later on today. I hope it recorded. I mean, I hope it didn't screw up like last week. Okay, y'all have a great day. If you need anything, call me.
Thanks.
My number, 972-679-9029.
Awesome, we'll do.
Thanks.
Thanks,
I think
Robert.
I
Merry
do have
Christmas, everyone.
Bye-bye
Merry
now.
Christmas, everyone. Is it